Can you comfortably sleep in a Tesla during a summer heat wave without using camp mode? Over the next 2 nights, I'm running a head-to-head test in my 2022 long-range Tesla Model Y. Tonight we use camp mode, but tomorrow night we turn it off completely to see just how much range we can preserve for remote exploring. The catch? Because of UK security laws, turning off camp mode leaves the alarm system armed, meaning if I move in bed, the car may scream. We're charging. So we're making a quick charging pit stop purely because I'm going to be running this experiment over 2 nights in the remote Scottish wilderness, and there's not any other chargers where I'm going. So I really need to make sure I've got enough battery to run all of my experiments, camp for the next 2 nights, and then be able to have enough charge to make it back here or another charger on the way home. And the plan is simple. I'm going to take the battery percentage at the exact same time each night, and then I'll also take a measurement of the battery percentage at the exact same time the next morning. That will give us the exact mathematical drain of using camp mode tonight versus turning it off completely tomorrow night. Well, we couldn't have had a more epic location for night 1. Sunset views over the Loch and instant noodles saving the day. As the light started to fade, it was time to get to work and take our first reading. It is exactly 5 minutes past 11:05 PM. We are locking in our start time. We're turning on camp mode. The climate is going to be set to 19.5 degrees Celsius, that's what I prefer. Turn auto off, I'm going to set it manually to fan speed level 2. I'm going to turn the air recirculation off, so clean air's been forced into the cabin. I'm actually going to put my vents up high so that the air blows through the back here. All of the windows are going to stay shut tight. Quick update, it's 11:21 PM now, and I've just realised I actually forgot to tell you what the battery percentage is. So it's at 69%, that is our starting percentage. So let's see how much it drains overnight. %62%. Good morning, it is exactly 7 AM and the statistics are in. With camp mode on, it's used 7% of battery throughout the night, and this equates to about 5 kilowatts of energy since I'm using the 2022 long range Model Y. So now we've got the camp mode baseline locked in, tonight we're going to run our experiment without camp mode. But 7% of battery use throughout the night, that's pretty impressive. So this no camp mode test is going to have to be really good in order for me to justify not using it. And putting up with all these midges here, it has been insane. The midgie hatching season is definitely in full swing here on the west coast of Scotland. I think if I'm coming back here anytime soon, I'm going to have to come draped in one of those big midgie nets. But still, what an absolutely beautiful location. At least for now I can enjoy it from the safety of the Tesla. Now, let's talk bedding. If you've seen my recent 5 upgrades video, you might have seen me mention the Exped Mega Sleep blanket and sleeping bag. Now, I've not got round to picking one up yet to test out. And I'm thinking, because of this crazy summer heat wave, that tonight I'm gonna get away with simply using my Sherpa fleece lined blanket, a couple of extra layers of clothes, and hopefully I'll be warm enough. Because camp mode is obviously gonna be off and the windows are gonna be cracked slightly for ventilation. So it'll be interesting to see if I've got enough layers. And after a successful first night in the wild, I was excited to get back on the road, heading to another wild camping spot for the no camp mode sleep. So, Loch Linnhe is just beyond those hills. We're a little bit set back from the water, and this is going to be our testing grounds for tonight's no camp mode experiment. However, the conditions inside the car are going to get a lot tougher. One thing I'm definitely concerned about with the no camp mode test tonight is the fact that because I'm not running climate, I need some form of fresh air, some sort of ventilation. The only way really to do that is to lower the windows. There's two potential problems there. One, the midges. If we crack those windows down, it might just be like opening the floodgates, and I could wake up with a million midges inside the cabin with me, and that is not going to be fun. The other problem is the rain. It is forecast to rain lightly, but throughout the whole night. So my concern with that is we're going to get water inside the car. In terms of the midges though, I'm hoping that maybe my privacy screens are going to be able to cover up most of the gap above the window, but still let some air through. And I guess if I really think about it, there's actually a third issue, which is the wind. Are the privacy screens going to stay in place if a breeze comes and pushes them? This is definitely an experiment, and I guess there's only one way to find out. I just hope that I'm not going to wake up during the nights and have to call it quits. But my biggest concern with this no camp mode test is the fact that the car's security alarm system is going to be enabled at all times. Now, if you live outside the UK or the EU, you should actually be able to disable the alarm system. Supposedly, you are meant to basically disable sentry mode, which I've done. It's enabled now, and now it's disabled. It's greyed out. We're in the safety tab, and basically if you scroll down, you can see here security alarm, or it might say tilt/intrusion sensors. So technically if you turn off sentry mode, you should be able to disable the security alarm, but because we are in Old Blighty, I cannot do anything with this button. It's basically permanently enabled. And one thing that I'm wondering is how sensitive are these sensors? So rather than me finding out in the middle of the night, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lock the car, let it go to sleep, and then I'm gonna try and move about and hopefully trigger the alarm system. Or actually maybe hopefully not, so I can actually get a good night's sleep. Okay, I'm gonna lock the car. Well, I've locked it from the app. Yeah. Now the only thing that might not set off these sensors is the fact that the phone key is still connected via Bluetooth. So technically the car's now locked. It doesn't know that I'm necessarily in here, aside from the fact that the phone key is connected. So first of all, let me try and set off this alarm. If that doesn't work, I might have a solution. Come on, alarm! Currently simulating this is how I sleep, so... Okay, so far we're not setting off the alarm. Let's see if we can enable the touchscreen. Nope, no touchscreen. Okay, I think we're gonna have to disable phone key. So I'm gonna turn Bluetooth off. Phone key is now not connected. So there's no key connected to this car. It's locked. It's not in camp mode. It's not in pet mode. So the alarm system should be enabled. So let's give it another go. The screen is just lit up, but I think that's because I touched the driver's seat. It could be picking up the weight from the driver's seat, and so it thinks there's someone in here. So let's take the weight off of that. Let's give it another go. Yes, this is probably the craziest thing that you will see on YouTube today. Well, maybe not the craziest, but probably the most stupid. Oh my. Guys, I hope you can see I tried. But I don't really know how to feel about this, to be honest with you. On the one hand, I'm relieved that it seems like I'm not going to get woken up by the alarm tonight. On the other hand, if some rogue person had snuck into my Tesla as I was closing the boot and I didn't see them. Knowing that the car doesn't necessarily know that, it isn't going to alert me. I'm not really a fan of that. And I must say, I'm definitely going to need some ventilation in there tonight. It's like a greenhouse in there. Whew. Okay, picture this. You're out camping in the wild. You're tucked in for the night and you've decided that you're going for a no camp mode sleep. You want to save that precious battery. And as you're sound asleep, some very weird Scottish guy comes along and thinks, do you know what? This person's camping in my spot. I'm gonna wake them up and get them to move on. Now the phone key's disabled, I've got no Bluetooth on. Sentry mode is currently on, and I've locked the car from the app. So the car's now locked. The alarm system is technically armed, just waiting to go off. I think there's only one thing left to do. And after 48 hours alone in the wild, my gosh, this car weighs a ton. It's quite clear I was starting to lose the plot. Okay, we're trying to open the door. Sentry is activated. No alarm yet, no alarm. Am I gonna have to break it? Okay, well, it turns out that, I guess at least for the purposes of sleeping without camp mode, the Tesla alarm system, you can pretty much just forget the fact that it is enabled. To be honest with you, this is not what I was expecting. I genuinely thought the alarms were going to be blaring by now, but I actually feel a little bit at peace now knowing that's not going to happen tonight. And I guess if you are going on a ferry and they tell you to turn off your alarm system, you can basically just show them this video and say, well, it's not going to go off. This is not looking good, guys. I'm trying to see if the water's going to come in tonight, and sadly it seems like it is. The water literally just rolled down the pillar here and then straight onto my privacy screen and then straight inside the car. The only other way that I could possibly get ventilation is if I leave the boot or trunk open just ever so slightly, because I'm pretty sure it's designed so that water shouldn't get in. I'm gonna have to test that out though. And after thoroughly testing if water could enter through the open trunk, I came to the conclusion that despite my best efforts, if it rained, there was a strong chance I was going to get wet. Well, interesting twist. If anything, this just shows you how much of a massive feature camp mode is. The fact that you can seal up your car but still have fresh air coming in. It's a massive advantage that we just probably take for granted compared to people who are doing, say, a van conversion or are just car camping in general in a normal car. Because let's face it, this isn't really a normal car. The fact that you can essentially live in it quite comfortably, say quite comfortably, extremely comfortably. Just checking the weather just now, and it's actually some fairly good news. 7 in the morning there's going to be light rain, but from midnight until 6 in the morning there's nothing, and then tonight it's dry. So I guess the experiment's still on. This has been a bit of a roller coaster. I really hope we save a lot of juice because it better be worth it. Alrighty, it is officially 11:05 PM. The weather app is now showing rain at 8 AM in the morning, which is good for us, so hopefully that is correct. And it's pretty easy tonight. All we really need to do is just take a reading of our battery percentage. So our current state of charge is 39%. Last night we lost, what was it, 7% of power purely from using camp mode. I'm hoping for something, I'm hoping at least half of that maybe even less. The midges don't seem to be too bad tonight, but I have a whole host of flies still inside. So hopefully these guys don't bother me tonight, but I'm trying to keep these lights off. I think this red light maybe doesn't attract as many bugs. So keep your fingers and toes crossed for me that it doesn't all go wrong tonight. And I'll update you at 7 AM on the battery drainage. Well, I guess it's 7 AM. Yeah, it was actually a really nice experience. It was surprisingly quiet. It's amazing, even on level 1 fan speed with camp mode, it's still, I wouldn't say loud, but it's just a constant noise. Whereas obviously when it's disabled, I basically couldn't hear anything. I could actually hear the little stream water running by. What I found I did have to do was remove the privacy screens from this side of the car and then leave them on over here, just because I did want to feel like I had some sort of privacy and no one was actually watching me while I slept, which I know sounds crazy because they could have just walked around here and did it, not that anybody would, but it helped increase the ventilation because we've obviously got a bigger gap here for airflow and we've kind of got like an in and an out. Whereas over here with the privacy screens, the gaps aren't so big. And interestingly enough, we did actually get some water coming in. As you can see here, most of it actually went on the privacy screen itself. But it's nothing that can't be easily wiped up with a tea towel. Really not a big deal. But I mean, I think it was fairly light rain last night. I didn't wake up to any sort of like torrential downpour. So let's say it was heavier rain. Yeah, you're probably going to wake up to a lot more water inside the car. To be fair though, I have had times where I've forgot that I've left the windows open in the car and it's been raining and it's not been too bad. It hasn't really caused much damage, so to speak, so long as you dry it out. So yeah, I think if you were really wanting that no camp mode sleep, you probably could do it in most conditions, so long as the rain isn't horizontal and coming straight into the cabin right on your face. So that's my thoughts and feelings on a no camp mode sleep, but more importantly, what we want to know is how much battery did we drain, or in actual fact, how much battery did we save? Hopefully a lot. Let's find out. I don't think the screen will turn on because when the Tesla goes dead like this, you have to basically turn on camp mode. But what I could do is sometimes if you put your weight on the driver's seat, there we go. Okay, 37% guys, we're locked in at 37%. Wow, okay, I just checked the footage. 39% we started with last night and we woke up with 37%. That's insane. We've only lost 2% battery. Compare that to the previous night where we lost 7%. We've essentially saved over half of that energy loss purely by not using camp mode. Now I know you could say 7%, 2% doesn't really matter. I could always go to a supercharger and top that up in about 10 minutes if that. But here's the thing, where I'm planning on going in the Scottish Highlands, there really aren't a lot of chargers, or at least there's not a lot of Tesla superchargers. A lot of the chargers are actually really quite slow and they're not super reliable. So in those nights where I want to push it a little bit more and try and get one extra night's stay before having to go and reroute to a charger, now knowing that sleeping without camp mode draws virtually nothing is fantastic. This is huge, and hopefully this helps you as well if you're planning on doing any no camp mode sleeps. Overall, I'd say that this experiment was a massive success and I'm up for experimenting some more, so if there's anything else you want me to test out, let me know in the comments. And if you want to see everything else I got up to on this 2-night solo camping trip, I made a full video over here, so just click the video right here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.